Welcome to Gen Y Footy episode 4. Well, there is a Tiger in the studio, and we're very happy to have him because the Tigers are 3-0. You're in red hot form. Luke McGuane, thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, good to be here.
And Frankie, of course, you're here also. Have you got a special announcement to make for Gen Y Footy?
Do have a special announcement. Dean Blundstone will be joining us this year for the remainder of the season, and Luke will go home with a pair of Blundstone boots, which is exciting for him because he can get out in the garden and do all that as well.
You can do the lawn mowing and all that sort of stuff.
Fake grass at home, but that's all right.
Now, I just want to bring something up before we move on. A couple of weeks ago, Dino put up the ladder, which saw the Richmond Tigers win 2 wins in a row, but outside the top 8 still. Did you see the humorous side of that, Luke, at all?
Yeah, I did, mate. I saw a fair bit of it. I saw it on Facebook, and obviously the family let me know about it, being with the Collingwood ties. So.
They were ninth after the first round.
Yeah, they were outside the top 8 after winning, which normally wouldn't have happened because we have a couple more teams now. It does, but this is the ladder now. 4th on the ladder, the Richmond faithful, the Richmond players, and everyone around it must be ecstatic.
Yeah, it is, mate. It's good to see.
Equal top.
Yeah, well, exactly. So, hopefully we can keep that going.
Yeah. Now, yourself, you've gone forward. You were drafted as a forward. A little bit of overlay here. You're taking hangers, you're kicking goals from the boundary. Why the hell did you ever play in defence for the Richmond Footy Club?
I don't know. I came back from injury one year and I was just down back, and that was it. I just stayed there. So I broke my arm my first year, and when I first came back in my second year, I just played defence and I never went back there. And then obviously with the coaching changeover, no one knew I was actually a forward at any point in my career.
So who's taking credit for actually telling you to go forward or taking you down forward?
I think probably Mark Williams would be one, Damien Hardwick, and then I was the one that put the idea up, so I'll take it.
Okay, now I've got to ask you about Dustin Martin. How many times you probably get asked about this man? But 35 touches, 2 goals, rumours all pre-season. We won't touch on him because we don't do that on this show. But he's a pure footballer, and just the stuff he does on the footy field, it doesn't seem like it affects him, all the rumours over the pre-season. He just gets out on the footy field and lets it do the talking.
No, not at all. He's, when it comes to football, he just loves the game, loves being out there, and once he hits that football field, he turns into a different person. He's got a pretty hard image with his neck tattoos and stuff like that, but once he's on that football field, that image comes across, but off the football field, he's probably nothing like that.
Yeah, he lives with you?
Yes, he does.
Was I allowed to say that?
Yes, no, it's fine.
Let's be honest, they're henna tattoos. He just puts them on game day. They're not actually.
No, he walks around the house sometimes with them on too.
Now, you're on radio during the week, Luke, and I want to bring this up. We're going to throw to a bit of vision in a second. You were on radio at the
You're in demand at the moment, aren't you?
He is in demand. At the very same time that Adam Scott was actually winning the US Masters, let's just take a look and have a look at how it panned out.
I'm obviously enjoying football back up there, but I think I learned a lot playing defence as well. So.
Sorry, Luke. Adam Scott has just made. He's made his birdie putt on 18. Wallsy and I have jumped out of our seats. He is beside himself, and this is just one of the great moments, Luke. So, wow. We do apologise.
Righto, Luke, so that's very funny. Andy Marr jumping out of his chair, not even listening to your answer. So you now, mainstream, finish off the answer to Andy Marr's question. What was he talking about? What were you answering?
I think I was just telling you I was enjoying playing up forward. I was going to go into depth, but I got cut off. So.
and Andy Marr didn't care one bit. He was more worried about Adam Scott, and rightly so, Frankie. It's the first Australian ever to win the US Masters.
Absolutely. We love Adam Scott.
Now, there was plenty of highlights on the weekend, Luke, but there's plenty of lowlights on Friday night. Fremantle took on the Bombers. Here's some goal kicking. Pavlich, Ballantyne, they're all spraying it out on the full. Now, Frankie sent me a text all weekend going, anyone could kick that. I could kick it blindfolded. I could drill it from here. I could drill it for that.
This one's probably the worst one. This is Ballantyne, though. That's the worst one.
That is the worst one. But this man here thinks he could do it blindfolded. Do you go into defence and dbat for them?
I'd probably the best person to go into bat for him after my little incident in Perth last year. That one of the goal square wasn't a highlight of my career. But it did slip out of my hands. Maybe it's Perth, I'm not sure. But there was some pretty humorous misses at goals, but I can't talk.
Well, I took Frankie out just to see if he could do it blindfolded, and this is how he went. Thanks, Dan and Frankie. Love those two blokes. Now, Frankie, opens your big gob. Yep. You reckon you can kick it from 35 metres out? Are you still feeling comfortable in this wet, rainy conditions?
Well, it is wet and rainy. It's probably a little bit too close to me, but yeah, I could probably slide it through. Yeah.
Right.
Outside the 50 is sort of where I sort of head from normally. But
you're the most delusional footballer I've ever met. Here's your blindfold, because you said you could do it blindfolded.
Yep.
So stick that on your head. We'll just move around here. Our cameraman's going to come from behind you and get the angle.
Just remember, if you want me to speak, you have to put the mic under my mouth.
Yep, that's it.
Alright,
so you got the blindfold on. Turn to the camera and prove to everyone that you got the blindfold on.
Got the blindfold on.
Righto.
Can't see a thing. Where am I walking from? Hang on a sec.
That's fine. Walk straight. That's it.
It's not as wet. It wasn't quite as wet. It wasn't quite as wet as Friday night. You opened your big gob. Frankie, there you go, mate. You can't quite kick in the rain. So you take what you said back about the Essendon Footy Club and Fremantle Footy Club.
Oh yeah, take it back. Yeah, the umpire didn't throw a bucket of water at the Essendon players or Hayden Ballantyne when he was lining up for a goal.
There you go. Proof that Frankie's no, you didn't. Proof that Frankie's no good at footy. Back to you guys in the studio.
Well, there you go. Proof's in the pudding. Frankie's no good as a footballer.
No, I wouldn't have thought. Luke, you saw the vision. He pointed me out towards the Highlands Hotel, and you'd be familiar with that ground because that was down at the Highgate Reserve where Richmond used to train. I'm not even facing the goals. You could have told me to go face the goals, and I may have kicked it straight.
That's the point of a blindfold, mate. It doesn't matter. You're blindfolded and you can do it.
The kick was straight, though, wasn't it? I just wasn't facing the goals.
Reasonably straight from where you were facing.
And a bucket of water being poured over the top of me.
Because it was wetter than that in Perth in the first half, so you actually got off lightly.
Debatable. Anyway, we've got some vision of a pretty good specky that you took last week against the Saints, Luke. Take a look at this. This is a very, very good grab. Now, what I'm more interested in is the fact that you are more worried about your hair, and we'll see it in a minute, than taking a shot for goal. Brett Deledio actually pointed this out, and there it is. You worrying about the quiff on your fringe rather than worrying about the goal coming up.
It is very nice.
Yeah. Look, I've told Brett a million times I was just getting sweat off my forehead before I had the kick for goal. But no, I do play with my hair a bit. I think it's a bit of a nervous habit, but especially after I took the mark, I didn't want to miss the goal because I didn't want to look like a goose missing. So I did get nervous, and nervous habit come out straight away.
You're a good-looking man, Luke, I must say.
Thank you.
Now, this is why you're a good-looking man, because another rumour is, and this has also come from Brett Deledio, that you don't wind the window down in the car because you're worried about the wind blowing your hair around.
Depends which way the wind's going.
And what me and Luke have learned is that Frankie's a name dropper. Okay, now it's time for Twitter Hard Hitter.
Oh, you love this segment, and Luke, you'd be all across this segment. You love it, don't you?
All over it, mate.
Watches every show, does Luke? Sure. At Jimmy Dore has written in, Luke, what's the best thing about playing up forward? Kicking goals or hearing Jack Rewalt complain about all the marks you're taking at the moment?
Definitely not hearing Jack.
Not hearing
so
Jack?
Probably taking the marks.
Yeah, right. How's he go with him being the decoy sometimes? Vickery pops up, you bob up.
Yeah, I mean, he finds a way to deal with it because, he ended up kicking 7 against the Saints and then ended up kicking 3 in the last quarter to make sure he stays on top of the big dog down there.
So he's leading the Coleman still. He's doing what he needs to do, really, isn't he?
He does what he needs to do.
So it's still all about Jack. And Nick Dalceno joins us next week. So get your tweets in and we'll read it out on the show. And Frankie, if we do read your tweet out on the show, we'll give you a travesty prize pack.
Absolutely, which is what Luke will take home as well in a minute, Dan. But just before we wrap it up, just want to point out this. Have a look at Lee Fisher umpiring one of his very first games from former St Kilda player. Trips over here.
Yep.
And not only once does he trip over, here he goes again. 2 times in the one game. You can't do that.
Great debut.
Exactly, sensational. Now, before we...
No, Buddy Franklin. I want to show this goal first. He didn't fall over. Have a look at Buddy Franklin on the weekend. Grab your prize pack.
Yeah, I'll get the prizes.
Frankie. Jumps over a couple, then drills it from 65 metres out. How good's that? When are you going to do that, Luke, at any stage?
Probably not.
Probably not. Just stick to taking hangers. What do you got?
Now, Luke, you take home the travesty prize pack for coming on the show. We appreciate your time. And, of course, Blundstones. They are the best boots going around. They're as tough as they've always been, but they're a little comfier now as well. So make sure you put them on. I know they're the wrong size, but we'll work on that for next time.
Good luck this weekend against the Pies, mate. This is the real test.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to this weekend.
Good luck to you. Good luck to... Thanks for coming in, Luke. Thanks to Blundstone.
Yes.
Thanks to Travesty. We'll see you next week. Not thanks to you. We'll see you next week on Gen Y Footy.